Hi everyone, welcome back. It's Mo, aka Swedish Whiskey Girl, and today we're here with a new seasonal release from Mackmyra. This is called Björksav, and it's their kind of springtime seasonal malt. The seasonal releases is what I really look forward to when it comes to Mackmyra, because they're always they seem to at least always be quite quirky and fun, and I like the idea of making a seasonal release with this kind of theme. And I mean, I am a bit weak for Scandinavian whiskey and especially Swedish whiskey. So Björksav means birch sap, and they have collaborated with a winemaker company at Grythyttan in Sweden, and they make really interesting wines. I think founded by a couple, and they want to kind of celebrate the berries and fruits of kind of the local berries and fruits and resources. So they have a wine called Björk, which means birch. I haven't tried anything from Grythyttan, but the next time I'm in Sweden I'm gonna try my very best to get a hold of some. They have some really interesting one. They've made a wine from lingonberries and blueberries and a lot of really fascinating things, and I just love that whole thing that you celebrate what you'll find in nature around you. And I mean, being Swedish, it's just, I'm a big kind of romantic, as you probably know by now, and I just think that's lovely. And I'd love to try wine that's made from something that isn't grapes. I mean, I'm always looking for flavor experiences, so that is something that I would love to try as soon as possible. So hopefully I'll get to go to Sweden soon and I'll get to try it. But yes, so they've taken those that Björk wine, so the birch wine, and seasoned casks with it, and used some of this whiskey to finish in those casks. I actually have, so before I start, this is 46.1% ABV, which is kind of the standard for Mackmyra. I also have my phone here, just so I can look up exactly what it is matured on, because I couldn't seem to remember it. But it is 30% of the total recipe is whiskey that's been matured on ex-bourbon casks, 24% has been matured on Oloroso casks, so Oloroso seasoned casks. And the amount of whiskey that's been finished on the birch wine casks is about 1 to 4 years. It's been finished, I believe, and it's 20% of the total recipe. And the whiskey that is finished in other types of seasoned casks is about 18% of the recipe, but they don't specify what that is. And the whiskey that is matured on Swedish oak casks is about 8% of the recipe. If you're curious about those numbers, then you can find them on their website as well. So yeah, fun. Let's try it. I have actually tried birch wine before, a sparkling wine made from birch sap, and wasn't from this company that they've been working with, but it's from another one. What was I gonna say there? Totally lost it, but it was really lovely. It has this kind of nature note. It's quite fresh. It is quite foreign if you haven't tried it before, but you kind of get used to it, and it's quite nice. If you ever get the chance to try it, I would go for it. I know there's a company here in Scotland up north somewhere that also does kind of fruit wines, which I would love to try as well. I tried them at a food fair once, which is always fun. Another thing I shouldn't forget to say is that I'm actually hosting a live stream with Mackmyra on Monday the 8th of March, so this coming Monday, and it's for International Women's Day, so I am joined by two of my friends who are also whiskey drinkers, Nicola and Erin, and we'll just be chatting a bit about what whiskey women we look up to, what it's like being a woman in the whiskey industry, and yeah, we'll try a whiskey as well, which is also a seasonal release that's been seasoned with wine made from berries from Grythyttan, which have also made the wine for this one. So yeah, I hope to see you there. I put the details on my Instagram soon, and it's on the Mackmyra channels as well, so hope to see you there. But now let's get to the whiskey. We'll start by having a look on the nose. It's quite fresh, quite sweet. I always think of some kind of jelly sweets when I nose Mackmyra. Almost like Haribo, those pacifiers, Haribo nappar. which I really love, but only, well, I like them both, but the red and yellow ones, they're my favourites. Quite fresh, quite nature-esque. I feel like a bit of cinnamon as well, like cinnamon wood, but what's it called? Like, it's called a Christmas tree. It's called a Christmas tree, isn't it? Or I don't know the specific name for it, but I'll put it up here on the screen. But in Swedish it's dram. It makes me think of that, so it makes me think of Christmas trees, I guess. Ugh, I can't speak. And cinnamon, yeah, definitely getting a cinnamon note on this. Quite perfumed and floral. Well, let's have a sip. Skål! Ooh. Quite sweet. I feel like it has a nutty oloroso vibe going on in the middle of it, like a layer. It's like when you bite into a cake and then there's like a layer of jam. Like it kinda, you get that quite a big flavour, but it's not the entire thing, it's just like a little line of it in it. Definitely quite sweet. A bit like a vanilla toffee, perhaps. That kind of jelly sweets almost. And spicy, it's like spicy and sweet. It's like a cinnamon bun meets Haribo jelly pacifiers meets chewy vanilla toffee, and you mush it all together and then you sprinkle it with a little bit of oak. Big flavour, a lot of it. I thought it would be more delicate and more fresh and, I don't know, a little bit muted almost. Not in a bad way, but just a little bit less flavour, but it's quite big. It's bigger on the palate than on the nose, I would say. Do you think that kind of Oloroso character is coming out now, more now though? Definitely has something foreign to it as well, especially on the finish. There's a flavour that is somewhere in between soft wood, a little bit grassiness, a little bit of a floral bitterness, and some sort of sweet note that, yeah, it feels not overpoweringly bitter, but it does have a bitter element to it, which I think is why it lingers on the finish so much. And it is difficult to put my finger on what it is. I don't know if it comes from the Swedish oak, if it's from the birch wine casks, or if it's a mixture of everything else, the recipe. I don't know if there's any peat in this, but it feels unpeated to me primarily. Fairly robust, a little bit more robust than some of the others I tried, I would say. Now the finish is kind of calming down a little bit, it feels softer now. I mean, I didn't mind it being quite powerful to start with, but I would say it is foreign. I like finding something foreign in OSC because it makes it really interesting. But it's like when I tried that birch wine, I've never had anything like it before. So to me, I'm not sure if I like it until I get used to the flavour. I think it's a little bit same with this. If you want something different, this might be something for you. But if it might be too different for you, it just depends on what you like. And it's difficult to describe because I've not had anything like it before. A good springtime whiskey though. It's a bit... almost makes me think of a meadow. I mean, it could be the colour combination and the whole idea of what I know what it is. Also quite funny because I am very allergic to birch. It doesn't taste like allergies, which is good. It doesn't even make me think of them until probably just now when I thought of it. But I'm allergic to pollen, which, I mean, how do you know someone's allergic to pollen? They'll tell you 100 times. But birch is the one thing that I am really allergic to. So sometimes I can feel it when we're out walking. I'm like, where is that birch? I love birch though. I used to, if you get the white things, like if you get some birch bark and you have a knife and you scratch off the white stuff on the bark, that is really good for starting fires. Sounds really weird, I know, but my dad's a survival instructor in the army, so when I was little we used to be out in the forest and used to teach me to use eldstål. Don't know what they're called in English, but I'll put it here somewhere if I'll find out, where you basically have a piece of like, is it made of metal, like steel, and you have a knife and you push the thingy on the seal so that you get sparks that can then attach to these white things in the birch and start a fire, which is great for if you need to survive out in nature. But yeah, so I have a really fond memories of birch and I love birch. I really like the birch wine as well, but I'm also super allergic to it. So it's like a hate and love relationship. But it's fascinating. But yeah, really big in flavour. Definitely has a bitter element, so if you like a bit of bitterness, you might find this really intriguing. Different, quite unique, quite robust, but also if you like Oloroso, this isn't a big sherry monster at all, but it does have a bit of that kind of nuttiness, sherry influence. So if you do like an Oloroso influence, this might also be something for you. More robust than I thought it would be. Really interesting, really enjoying it. It's sweet, but also bitter, also naturey, meadow, springtime. Fun! I would love to hear your thoughts. I know is it coming out now? Is it coming out soon? It's out in a few days, I think. All the information is probably on their website. But yeah, I find this fascinating. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the seasonal releases. Do you have a favourite one? Maybe you have an idea. What do you think they should do next in a seasonal release? What would be fun to see? Please put your thoughts in the comments here below, or let me know if there's another Mackmyra that you think I should review, perhaps. But thank you for watching, and if you have liked the video, I'd be so thrilled if you would leave a thumbs up and maybe subscribe if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel, I'd be absolutely over the moon if you would consider using my affiliate links with either Master Malt, the Whisky Exchange, or the Scotch Malt Whisky Society, or Pour and Sip Club the next time you're shopping with them. I have put all the affiliate links in the description below, as well as links to my other social channels if you're curious about those. And as always, a massive thank you to my wonderful supporters on Patreon. I am so grateful to have you guys with me on my whiskey journey. But I hope you've all had an absolutely wonderful day. Sláinte Skål!